Good day, this is Thumbs United. Set up this project and we're ready to go. In the past streams, I have, let me make this, I'm making the chat bigger. In the past streams, we've been organizing all the photography and getting getting it really into the right order for each episode. So that's all done. So all that's left to really do for the visual stuff is to animate the photos where they are, and then I'll be submitting the projects and see the test renders, and hopefully they'll be fine, and then I don't have to do any other versions. But then I'm going to go through and write the script and the music, and then it's going to all come together. So we're pretty close to being done. The hardest part is definitely selecting the photographs from Lightroom and then animating them. And then getting them in the right order, because there's like, I can tell you, there's so from the JVC camera there's 326 photos, and then there's substantially more from the GoPro. Like from this one folder, there's a lot. And so here's the ASMR I do. I'm not going to be streaming that later tonight, but you can go check out the website. And then here's the film previews for the Milwaukee project, which is it's kind of like the second half of the project I'm going to be editing. Not today, but once we finish animating all the 3D stuff and 4K digital. And the exciting news with that is that I'm pretty close to doing the dust removal for the 80mm, the medium format film, and so then I'm going to color grade that, and it looks like I'll be ready to animate the medium format film before I finish removing all the dust from the 35mm black and white film. But it's actually taken me like the same amount of time to do the 35mm and the medium format. It's just there's only 60 photos in the medium format, and there's like 140 photos in it's not working. There we go. There's about 140 photos of 35mm film, and like 99% of them get used. There's like 2 or 3 that don't get used, and that's just because they're like personal photos. It's like a photo of me and my grandmother, and that's essentially it. So with the GoPro, which is what these photos are, it's with the 3D GoPro, I can zoom in a lot more because it's such a wide angle that the 3D is actually not as strong when it's at the widest angle. But when you zoom in digitally, it gets a little bit stronger. But there is a point with the JVC camera and with the GoPro where if you zoom in too much, it gives you a headache viewing in 3D, and then it doesn't look good. And it's essentially like if you zoom in to a 3D photograph too far, it's as in real life it would be like your eyes going cross-eyed, and so that's never fun. Never. So that's why I can only zoom in so much with these photos, even though a lot of them, even if I zoomed in a lot, like 2 or 3 times, it would still be, you could still, have it be 4K. But again, the 3D slows that down, so you can't. Whoa, making mistakes. You can't zoom in that much. Got the construction cones. So I'm very excited. I'm almost done with this preview. Well, 2 things. I'm having a series of booklets come out, and they're probably not going to come out till after Christmas. But they're very small booklets. I haven't decided on the price, but they're going to be relatively inexpensive for a photo book. And so, to go along with the photo books, I'm continuing the film previews, but it's going to be with digital photography as well. So they're not going to be like full-blown documentaries with voiceover and everything. They're going to be short, about 7 to 12 minute, long quotations, photographic animations, which is what I'm doing here. And yeah, and they're only going to be done in HD, but later on, they are going to have their own series, just like the Milwaukee project, where there will be, the 4K version, the 3D version, and 3D for VR. So that is going to be coming, but these are just the previews to kind of show, what's coming and how these projects look. And part of it is because I have to, I've been working so much on Twitch that the YouTube channel is it's lagging behind. Like, it had a little spurt of content, but it needs more regularly. And so when I did the film previews, the views went up. Well, actually, the subscribers went up higher than the views. And so it went from a whopping 13 subscribers to 15, and now it's back down to to 13. So it was like, oh, that's interesting. But so there's going to be more regular content, definitely weekly, and it's going to be scaling up to more than once a week. It's going to be like two or three times a week. And especially once the Milwaukee project starts coming out, it will be more often. So the kind of tentative schedule is the film previews will start, then the Project Park, and the Project Park will start, and which I just have to edit the audio for, and I'm still recording music for. The music part is hard. I recorded a bunch of music while I was sick, and when I was sick, it was I didn't feel sick, it was just my organs hurt. It was just I was in a lot of pain, and then it was difficult to think straight. It was not fun. Not fun at all. But it wasn't like I felt a fever or anything like that. So that was good. And that was just a couple of days ago. I mean, I still go in and out where it's I'm not sure I feel so right. But and if it looks like the photos are blurry, it's because I use placeholder rendering. So these are 2 megapixels, all the photo assets. And so when I submit this to render, it's going to use the 11 megapixel and so on. This would be a good point to save. And then this is with the JVC camera, that also does 3D, but the photos and video are only in HD, so I actually can't zoom in that much because it's essentially just doubling the pixels. So I never go above really 3 times 1.3. This is kind of the advantage of working with a square ratio, is you get more movement you can do up and down versus the 16:9 where it's just, you can really go just in and out. And then the Thumbs United YouTube channel is about to get more active. It's already been active a little bit with Mass Effect the Musical 2 coming out to YouTube. But I'm gonna, the Master Chief, multitasking with the Master Chief is gonna start trickling out to Patreon, the archives of that, and then it will start coming to, like, one episode will come out on Patreon, then the next week it will go to YouTube. So a lot more Let's Plays coming, because in addition to that, there's a no mic Let's Play, which is just this, like the game archive for a Mass Effect, where it's just gameplay. There's no commentary or anything. And whoa, scare me to death. That's my alarm that it's time to start streaming. I beat it. But yeah, so the game is going to be Arkham Knight, the Batman game. The Batman. So I don't know, I'm feeling kind of high energy. I know it doesn't really sound like it, but I was so tired this morning. It's just been running errands all day. And I had like a slight headache, but I went out to eat and the food was good, so now I guess that's all I needed. But I was like really tired. I'll make sure there's actually some movement, and there was. And oh, the great news! I was like so excited. I know I haven't been streaming the past 2 days, and it killed me. But I've been going back and forth with my insurance company, health insurance, and I finally got that resolved, like just in time. And I'm over the moon for that, because there's stuff that I need medication for, and I can't, like, there's no way I can afford it. It's like $1,300 a month without insurance. And so essentially what I had to do was I'm gonna put my phone in Do Not Disturb, which I usually do beforehand. But I had to write a letter saying I was self-employed and show my accounting and everything, which is like what I've been doing with them, but they wanted me to do it a different way. like actually write a Word document and stuff. And so I was like, okay, I'll do that. And so then it got accepted. And the reason why I say it like that's weird is because I have the same seasonal job for 2 years in a row. So it was weird that they didn't accept it this year. But they did. They accepted it now. And then, so that's what I'm over the moon about. And then Monday I went to my college because I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get my degree. There was like one thing left I had to do, and that was actually submit a degree audit from my counselor to the registrar. And so I go and I do it, and he's doing the thing, and he's like, well, you're like 99% of the way done with your degree. And I was like, what? Because it's supposed to be 100%. I was like, I even got special permission to do an independent study because my previous counselor lied and said the class didn't exist. Oh, it's a long story. I'll tell it since we got time. But last year, for the winter semester, there's this advanced programming class, and it's only offered in winter semester. And so I went to my counselor and I was like, listen, I need to take this class. I have to take this other class, and then I can graduate, right? And I was like, yeah. So he looked up on the computer and he's like, we don't have this class anymore. No, he didn't say that. He said the class isn't being offered. And I was like, what? And so I was like, oh well. And so I'm taking advanced C++, and the teacher was like, you graduating this year, Lloyd? And I was like, no. I said the advanced Visual Basic class, which is kind of like an oxymoron, but is not being offered, and that's what I need to graduate. So I'm still one class short. So that day, that class, the teacher left, went to the head of the technology division who teaches advanced Visual Basic and told him what happened, and he was like, it's actually, and this was towards the end of the winter semester, he was like, the class name was changed. It's not called advanced, and so that's why the counselor couldn't find it, and so now the class is called advanced.net, and so it's C# or Visual Basic. You get to choose which direction you want to go. So then they were like, okay, we'll let you do it in the spring semester, but the spring semester is accelerated, so instead of having 4 months to do everything, I had 2 months, and so then I ended up, but the only way I could do it was if I passed a degree audit saying that this was actually the last class I needed. So I had that degree audit in the winter semester, so I could take the spring class, and then so I take the spring class, and I do the 4 months worth of work in 2 weeks, and I pass. Like, I didn't just pass, I like aced everything. And then not only that, the final test was we had to take a Microsoft certification, and I passed that, so now I'm like a Microsoft certified developer, which is like, oh yeah, add that to my resume. And so you guys can hear my dog. Oh no, hold on. Okay, I'm back. But going back to the story. Story time. So I do the class in 2 weeks, and it was an advanced class. So that was like, it wasn't like, oh, I only spent an hour. It was like I spend 4 hours working on each project a day, and like it was like really frustrating. And then I was going through some medical stuff at the same time. So it was like I felt very lucky. Like I put in the work and everything, but it was just like I was really worried. So I aced the class. I become Microsoft certified, a Microsoft certified developer, and then developers, and then and so yeah, so then I was like, okay, I can graduate, and so I because I did the spring semester, graduation is at the end of winter, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna get the 2018 graduation. I can go in at any time. And so I've just been like really busy with my job that was it was mostly full-time, but there were a couple of weeks where it was actually part-time. And that was just the self-employment doing the gardening. And then doing all the creative content. Not so much the streaming, but actually doing I streamed my work doing the creative content, but all the photography and everything I've been doing, and then taking care of my grandmother, like everything's just been full. And so when I was dealing with the health insurance, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go in and get, actually sign up for graduation. And so I go, and they're like, the counselor was like funny. I was like, I'm here to do a degree audit. And he was like, what, you can't do it yourself? Don't trust yourself? And I was like, no. And the website said, I need you to do it. And he was like, oh. And I was like, it's for graduation. And he was like, oh yeah, you do need me. Because he has to print out the paper, sign it, then give it to, then I literally take it from the second floor to the basement. And they check out to make sure I paid everything, and which I have. And then So then I go, and I'm like holding my breath because I'm nervous. And like at every time I've had to deal with a counselor, it's not the counselor's fault. There is something wrong with my transcripts where they don't work on for whatever system. Like information is missing, sometimes it's wrong. In 2015, in 2015, I went and changed my degree from computer information systems to application development because I just wanted to focus on programming. And I didn't like the information system stuff because information systems it's more like business technology, and I didn't want to do the business stuff. And so I shouldn't use this word so much, but so I go in and I'm holding my breath, and he's like, you're 99% of the way through, you just need this one class. And I was like, what class do I need? And he was like, you need a humanities. And like I almost flipped back in my chair. I was like, I specifically took a humanities class that was guaranteed. I had the counselor back then. Each time we get a different counselor, but it was guaranteed that would count as my humanities for the class. And the teacher was like, oh yeah, but we changed to the degree program for 2018, so now it doesn't count. And this is the joke of it. This is the joke. This humanities class has always been a joke. When I first went to college, I wanted to major in art education and become an art teacher. And so I didn't declare as an art appreciation, but I did a lot of the classes in order to become an art teacher. So I took basic drawing, two-dimensional design, I took art education, and so I had gotten up to the 200 level courses. And I did history of art and the history of the world, which was also an art-based class. And so then I switched to computer science because I was like, no, there's more job security and blah, 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 which was stupid. Should have stayed with art. I would have been happy. Might have been broke. Might have been rich. But I would have been a lot happier this past couple of years. Because everyone's like, oh, programming is awesome. The computers are great. No. Computers suck. And I'm not saying that because I'm like a bad programmer. I'm one of the best. And I spend a lot of time tutoring other classmates and everything. But I don't know, it's draining. Because, there is some joy in it where you get a problem and you think and you spend all this time thinking, trying to fix the problem, whatever it is, and then you finally fix it, and then you feel great because it's yeah, this is awesome. But then it's 10 seconds later you have a new problem that's 3 times harder than the first problem, and so then you do the same thing again where it's you're frustrated, grinding your teeth, and then you fix it, and it's yeah. So there's a little dopamine reward system that happens really fast while you're programming. So that part feels fun, but then it's just after a while you just kind of get exhausted. But I am good at it, which is what the trick was. I took one class to see if I would like it, and then I was just that first class, I was recommended to become a peer tutor and be hired by the college. And I was oh, I guess I'll go into programming. But that's not even the important part of the story. So the joke of it was I took all these art classes to become an art educator. And then the humanities, I had 4 options for humanities I could take. And so I had to take art appreciation. And art appreciation is a basic class. It's what is art? This is art. Here are the different ways to judge art. And it's just it would be the class you would take in order to get into to start a program for art education. So I was I was bumped back all the way down to having to take art appreciation because none of the other art classes counted as a humanities, even though they were way more in depth than art appreciation. So I went, and I've been streaming, and I've been talking about it last year, and I had a lot of fun. I never had any doubt that I would have fun. It's always funny that I had to go so high up the art chain, and now I had to start off at the beginning just for the humanities. So I took the art class. It was a lot of fun, and it was what I noticed was how much I really enjoy the art. It brings almost uncontrollable happiness. Not mania or anything. It's just I'm smiling and doing the research and everything. And then because there'd be the one class, the software class I had to take, and I was oh, I have to wake up and go to software. But then my art class was right after that, and it was I'm awake, I'm happy, and never checked my watch because the time would always fly by, and it was what, we're finished? And so that was interesting to see. But so I take the art class, passed it, really aced it, and then took all my other programming classes, then finished. So I'm in the counselor's office this past Monday, and he's like, "You don't have a humanities," and I was like, "What?" The whole reason why I took art appreciation, bounced back to the beginning, was because it was a humanities that I had to take for my degree. And he's like, "Oh, that was last year. We updated your degree," which usually what they're supposed to do is they're supposed to honor the year you signed up for your degree. But because my transcripts were all messed up, it doesn't say that I switched in 2015. It says that I switched in 2018, which is weird because I wasn't signed up for a class in 2018. Hold on. Somebody's texting me. But hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I had to go lift some heavy stuff for my mom. But, so back to the story. I get there, and the counselor is like, this art appreciation no longer counts as your humanity. I was like, what? So they changed the degree so that if the only humanities that you can take is English 102. And I was like, I already took English 101. I tested out of it. It turned out I didn't have to take 101. And they're like, doesn't count. And I was like, ugh. So that was kind of like terrible. And so then they were like, don't worry, you can still graduate. And I was like, okay, great. And they were like, but you need this paper signed. And I was like, okay. So I went to the person's office. Like, they were like, if you run now, you might be able to catch them. So they're on the other side of the campus. And I'm like, I'm not running, but it was just like I had like 20 minutes to get there. So I'm, walking fast. I get there, and nobody's in the office. Like, the whole building was really creepy. It was like abandoned. And so I was like, so then yesterday I called and left a voicemail, and I was like, not literally, but I was doing a lot of editing and film restoration, and so I had the phone just up, propped against the monitor, and it was like, the second he calls, I'm gonna answer. And so call never came. And then today I was running errands with my grandmother. We had to get blood tests done with my grandmother. And so we did that, and it was like an hour away from our house. And so we ate and then came home after the blood tests were done. And still no call. Like, the whole time I was like, I'm ready for him to call any second now. And so that's kind of, I am like so happy I got the health insurance done that I'm still like, I don't know, still in a state of relief, I guess you would say. But tomorrow I'm gonna email, and hopefully tomorrow I will have submitted my application for graduation and get the degree. Because that would be awesome. And it would just be like, that's the end of college. That's it. Never going back to that one. Unfortunately, I've been hunting for all of these jobs, and everybody requires a 4-year degree. Mine's a 3-year degree. No, a 2-year degree. Associates. And half of me is just like, the first thing I thought once I did all this job hunting was like, are you kidding me? I've done all this work and you guys don't even count it. So for sure what's gonna happen is I'm gonna apply like crazy to all the retail, all of the retail, and I'm just gonna get basic job to hold me over, and I'm gonna do the best job I can, and hopefully I could move up the ranks. But then I'll continue doing the creative streams and everything for LCD Productions, as a side, It'll be like a heavy duty hobby, but I'm not going to be doing it full time anymore. Just because it's at a point where I don't have to do it full time. Everything kind of takes care of itself a little bit, so I can focus on going at my own pace for these films and documentaries and everything. A lot of the heavy lifting I've already done. Like, I know how to use Instagram now. I know how Twitter works. I know how Twitch works. I know what I have to do for YouTube. It's just I have to do more of it, and that's not an issue. But it's just, it's going to take time now, and so I'm not in a rush. Where? Oh, there it is. I was like, oh no, what button did I press? So that's why I'm going to be scaling back. I will probably be online streaming just as much as I always do. It's just the programming and everything will be less, which is the things I do behind the scenes. Like actually behind the scenes. So that's going to be a very exciting time. And like the other good thing about this year was like I know almost my exact budget. Like I know how much it costs to do this web stuff and everything. And I've kind of reduced cost as much as I can, and so now all I have to do is like I have to build up my personal bank account. Got to get those funds, and then it's just save everything, spend absolutely nothing. That is the goal. So we are done with this one, but I'm still full of energy. So we will continue to the next one. And we'll probably finish the next one, which is good because I missed 2 creative streams. I missed Monday and then Saturday, I think. No, not Saturday, I missed Sunday. And it's the same bridge from the other side. Do. Okay, so that one's, everything's animated. Save it. And next. Oh man, this is great. The next one's a short one. We might be able to get 3 done today. We are in for a treat. In for a treat. Okay, I have to set this up. It's gonna take no time at all. So this will be a very productive week in terms of getting everything done. The thing that's not so great is I was planning to do a lot of filming, in the snow. So like over the weekend it was raining, which is weird for Michigan. Usually in November there's like a lot of snow by Thanksgiving, and so it was like raining, everything melted, and so it was raining. All the snow that was there left. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Crisis averted. So I haven't been able to film what I wanted to film, which is more stuff for live to tape. But I'm at the point where I can start the new project, and the project is just called Flow. And I'm doing the research right now. I did a lot of it in the car. I wasn't driving. I was just passenger, so I was reading everything. And this is zoomed in too much. We can go in a little bit more, but not much. Computer's trying to take off. I don't know why it does it. I mean, like, I know why it's doing it, but it does it when there's like nothing new coming on. Like, why is it all of a sudden, throttling up? Yeah, this one's going really fast, and it's easy because everything's really far away, so I can zoom in a little bit more with the 3D stuff. 3D. Oh, and Monday, the other thing I was doing was Christmas is coming, and I ordered my mom and sisters and everyone their gift, which is part of these booklets that I've made, and so I had to finish them. So I finished them like just in time. The company where I print from, the Club Blurb, they had a sale printing, and so I ordered like 7 of them, 7 different versions. There's 4 different books, and I ordered 7. A different number of each one. And so that should be coming pretty soon, on the 16th. But I also got them all VR goggles, and I have some like special 3D family stuff I'm gonna give them as well. And so I did like the first video, and like it was footage from like 2011. I had taken in 3D, and it was like incredible because it's all this old footage of my sisters and I playing with my dog and everything. And I was like, this, because in the footage and stuff, the dog is a puppy still, like a teenager and everything. And I was just like, wow. And like the depth and everything, it just felt more like, a hologram. And like you could see exactly how big she was. And it was all dimensional and everything. And then like I was looking around at the house back then, and I was like, this is awesome. And like that's the original reason why I got into 3D was taking photos and videos with my dog. Like we used to play outside all the time. And then I got busy, which is like sad, but we still play. We go around with the soccer ball. She's a Newfoundland. And so then I kick the soccer ball, and she goes and gets the soccer ball. She doesn't bring back the soccer ball. She gets it, and then she runs towards me, and she's like, I have the soccer ball now. You have to come get it. And so I chase her, and she's like wagging her tail, running away. Newfoundlands are not the best dogs for fetch, because they're too smart for that. I mean, like, that's literally why. Like, if you can get them to play fetch, they'll do it 1 or 2 times, and then they're like, why are you throwing this ball? I gave it to you, just keep it. They're working dogs. We got our first GoPro photo. We're about halfway done. So I feel pretty good about this stream. It's just I've been tired at night a lot more since I got sick, and so I'll try to stream earlier, start around 6 instead of sometime between 9 and 11. And this is the Milwaukee Museum of Art. And the structure actually opens and closes. There's the full version. And we're back to looking out the window. Oh, last night I watched Murder on the Orient Express, and it was pretty good. I've watched the original, and so I was watching it, and it was, moving along, and I was like, I forgot who did it. And then they get on the train, and it's like, oh, I remember. So I just spoiled the movie for myself, but it was still really good and enjoyable. Even if you have seen the original one's like black and white and came out ages ago, like literally ages. But yeah, I thought it was good. I messed this up a little bit. I guess that was a quick one. That was a good one. Short and sweet. We'll start the next one, maybe. Depends how long it is. It's another short one, so we'll finish. We'll definitely finish the next one. So I have to set this up. So we're already editing the fourth episode, which is like, that's fantastic. Especially with being sick, I was worried about getting behind schedule and everything. Okay. There we go. This one's actually even shorter than the last one. Oh man, we are in for a treat. This is the Jelly Belly episode, where I found out I like jelly beans. Like, I never really thought about jelly beans until I went to this warehouse. And it's a packing facility, and they give tours. And then at the end they give you a free sample pack, and that's where they get you. This stuff is like cocaine. And then they have these things called belly flops, which they sell there, and you can get them other places, but they have like giant bags of them. It's like a 5-pound bag. Oh no, that's not true. Maybe it is true. It's a heavy bag. And there's Bush. But oh my goodness. I've been doing it all wrong. I was zoomed in and I didn't realize it. So I go from there to a little bit more. I wondered why it was so easy. Okay, so now we're in the warehouse. In the warehouse. And they have like this train that goes all around. And it's cute. And they make you wear all this hat and stuff for food protection. And these are like all the jelly beans. All of the jelly beans. And then as you drive around, they have this like these displays on the side. Super jelly, really. But anyway, back to the belly flops. They're like jelly beans that failed. They're still, you know, jelly beans. They're safe to eat and everything, but they're in weird dimensions. They're either too small or they're too big, or they're like 3 jelly beans stuck together. So they're just, you know, jelly beans that failed at becoming a jelly bean. And those things were awesome because occasionally you get a flavor you like, but it was like 5 jelly beans stuck together. And that was the good stuff. And then I got, and then you can do like custom bags, where it's like, okay, I want all root beer. I got like all butter popcorn and root beer, and then a donut flavored one. Which I'm like, I am on a donut kick. So here's their display. And they have their propaganda machines telling you the glorious story of Jelly Belly. And this is the train we were riding in. It's like a little, you know, electric cart. It's like the ones you see at the mall, only a little bit bigger. So yeah, so this is going to be the last one for tonight. I know it's been a short stream, but I have to do short streams for now. I got a lot of other stuff to do offline. So fingers crossed that by tomorrow I get the paperwork I need. Inside there, mixers. And then fun facts about jelly beans. I'm like getting really hungry because of this episode. It's like Pavlov's dog. I see a jelly bean cartoon and I start salivating. And then they had like this tribute to Reagan, which is not funny. I mean, it's okay, but it was just like, I don't know, it was funny that it was in Jelly Belly. And like, as you can see, there's a lot of America stuff in Jelly Belly. But I was like, huh. The reason why it's funny is because everything's made out of Jelly Bellies except for this. And that's why I say it's funny. Now we have Amelia Earhart. Almost done. Oh, and then this is like a Jelly Belly bar lady. So you go up and you say, oh, I want to try root beer, and then she gives you one Jelly Belly root beer, and then you taste it and like, ah, that's pretty good. And then you're like, I want to try, you know, butter popcorn, and then she gives you one and you try it, and then you go over here and you pick, you know, whatever flavor you want, but usually the ones that you tried and you like, and you can get like a whole bag of, you know, just one flavor, or you can, you know, mix and match whichever flavors you want in whatever amount, and then you pay by the weight. Oh, and I should say that with these 3D episodes, the colors are not they're not final. There's going to be a whole bunch of color grading that we have to do in this editor in Blender. These are the belly flops, and the thing we did was we filled up a bunch of custom ones and then got one belly flop. But if you go there, this is what you do. It says, you can't read it, but it's one bag is like $10. No, one bag is like, it's like $7, and then 3 bags it's like $5 per bag. But if you get 5 bags, the total is like $40. So the way we did it when we got the custom ones that are over there, it ended up being like $55 worth of jelly beans that we were sending to like our family and everything. But if we just got, 5 of these, like, whatever, 2-pound bags, then, I'd still have jelly beans today. And I went there in August. So that was kind of like the mistake. And the belly flops are awesome. So, and they're just jelly beans that are deformed. And then they have kids' clothes and all that stuff. And this is like a mixed bag. But this is in Wisconsin, but it's not in Milwaukee. Okay, and that's it. So I want to thank everyone for coming out. I will see everyone tomorrow. Tomorrow is Thursday, so we're going to be doing Destiny for the gaming Let's Play. And if I have extra time, I'll come on earlier. And we'll do slip in a creative stream. But fingers crossed I get my paperwork done. And then I actually get, signed up for graduation. And what else? And yeah, so see everyone tomorrow. The Destiny stream will probably be the regular time, sometime between 9 and 11 p.m. Eastern time. But if I have like a lot of energy earlier, I'll do it earlier. But I want to thank everyone for coming by. I'll see everyone tomorrow. Bye bye.